Hello and welcome to the Bot Box. Raging Knightmare. What a name. Raging Knightmare, the last of the Nightmare series, was a low silver-coloured box robot armed with a rear-hinged flipper. Its awesome name comes from two of its predecessors. Spirit of Nightmare, runner-up in the second Extreme One Annihilator, not bad for a reserve, and Raging Reality, which had 2 out of the arena flips to its name, and a win over future champion Typhoon 2. Raging Knightmare found a home in Series 7 Heat N and drew Undercutter Top Bot, Crusher Rocks, and Vertical Spinner the Executioner. When Raging Knightmare got into the battle, it arrived in time to see Top Bot lose its disc to the Executioner. Raging Knightmare's first act in the actual battle, was to open the pit. It then went after the Executioner before deciding Top Bot was the better target, Top Bot chilling out close to the pit. The action took all 4 robots in the fight to Mr. Psycho's corner. Nobody got harmed there, except for Mr. Psycho, whose head fell off. And all got away bar one. That one was the Executioner, which got hammered until it got counted out, and then pitted. As the seconds ticked down, Raging Knightmare scooped Top Bot and carried it across the arena, but it was out of focus. The time ran out and the judges were called in. Raging Knightmare got through anyway. Next up was Spinner, Flipper, Revenge of Trouble and Strife. After having a weapons failure in round 1, Raging Knightmare's flipper was finally working. It didn't take long for Raging Knightmare to flip Revenge of Trouble and Strife, but the spinner self-righted. Raging Knightmare got flipped, but it also self-righted. Raging Knightmare was sent to Revenge of Trouble and Strife across the arena before getting flipped. Again, that Raging Knightmare got flipped. That is not Revenge of Trouble and Strife. Cue several attempts at flipping by Raging Knightmare. So, Raging Knightmare opened the pit, flipped Revenge of Trouble and Strife over, and this time the latter failed to self-right and outpoured CO2 as well. That never helps. So Raging Knightmare pitted them. Next up was another flipper. Succeed, spawn again. This was a grudge match from Series 4 when Spawn of Scudder beat the original Nightmare. Raging Knightmare flipped Spawn again at once, but the Succeed self-righted, and they flipped Raging Knightmare over. In fact, they got them close to the arena edge. That, however, was when Spawn again tried to flip Raging Knightmare, and Spawn again's pneumatics exploded. So Spawn again, in desperation, tried to open the pit. They missed. In fact, they pinned themselves to the arena wall. Spawn again were having a living nightmare. Forget a Raging Knightmare. So Raging Knightmare freed Spawn again by flipping them over. Of course, Spawn again could not self-right. So once Spawn again were dealt with, basically, Raging Knightmare flipped Spawn again onto the arena wall. One last tiny little flip sent the Succeeds out of the arena. It sent Raging Knightmare through to Team Nightmare's first ever semi-final. Their reward? The top seeds, the reigning champions, Tornado in vertical spinner mode. Some reward. Raging Knightmare got pushed into a wall so hard they had to self-right. This took both them and Tornado into a corner. So Shun came along and asked Tornado. So Raging Knightmare flipped Shunt over. Now, flipping over a house robot is always awesome. However, tactically, Team Nightmare shot themselves in the foot. Because the attack on Shunt freed Tornado. And Tornado rammed Raging Knightmare into a wall again. And again. And again. And Raging Knightmare's flipper stopped working and they couldn't self-right. So Tornado opened the pit. They dumped Raging Knightmare in the pit. And they were out. Well, at least they took out Shunt. And they also had the Annihilator. They faced two flippers in U2 and Ripper. Two flipper stroke spinners in Robo Chicken and US Robot Flipper. And horizontal crusher Can Opener. Those who know Can Opener's record in Annihilators will probably have already worked out this does not end well for Raging Knightmare. Or anyone who is not Can Opener. Robo Chicken was the first to get flipped over, followed by U2, which spent most of its time hanging out on the arena wall. Raging Knightmare went after Ripper and Robo Chicken before Can Opener went after Raging Knightmare. Can Opener ended up regretting that one, as it got flipped multiple times close to the arena wall. It could have gone out. Then Ripper flipped the Raging Knightmare, and Dead Metal joined them. One by one, the other robots that weren't Raging Knightmare left the corner. That gave Raging Knightmare room to self-right, which Raging Knightmare did. Meanwhile, the ref bot sniffed at U2 and Flipper. Then Robo Chicken got counted out, and U2 got pitted. So, on to round 2. Flipper did not make the arena due to technical difficulties. And that meant round 3 started at once. Shortest Annihilator round ever. U2 flipped Raging Knightmare right at the start, but it self-righted. Ripper flipped Raging Knightmare multiple times, broken up by Raging Knightmare self-righting and Shunt's axe making an appearance. Then Can Opener grabbed Raging Knightmare, but it got free and self-righted again. U2 got flipped by Ripper before the latter clamped Raging Knightmare and pushed it around. Raging Knightmare then got tossed around before U2 got flipped onto its side, from where it failed to recover. It also suffered the same flipper failure that Raging Knightmare had. Then Can Opener used Raging Knightmare to open the pit, but U2 got counted out before Raging Knightmare could drop. It was stuck on one of Can Opener's claws. So they had a narrow escape from defeat, though they were in round 4. Only problem was, Ripper and Can Opener's teams were friends, and they ganged up on Raging Knightmare. Ripper flipped them and Can Opener grabbed them. Can Opener got flipped by Raging Knightmare in a show of defiance, but that only caused Ripper to flip Raging Knightmare. Whilst Raging Knightmare were upside down, Can Opener grabbed them and cooked them on a flame pit. Raging Knightmare was released and self-righted, but got turned over and delivered to Dead Metal. So a can opener snatched Raging Knightmare from Dead Metal. Ripper opened the pit and Raging Knightmare got pitted. Took its time to drop though. It got stuck on can opener's claw again. That was Raging Knightmare's last televised battle. Raging Knightmare itself got sold on and had a variety of names, including those of its predecessors, Nightmare and Raging Reality. It was last seen in 2013 under the name Raging Morgue. So, Raging Knightmare was a decent flipper, as seen in its flip-on front, and it had a bit of luck on its side. I will give them points for flipping shunt, though it did cost them dear. They get a ton of points for calling their robot Raging Knightmare. What a name. So, will the next name be as good? Or it will certainly be short. It's Rhino from Extreme 1. We got a tank on our hands.